basically, I'd like to thank all the members of the press for attending this final face-to-face of what I think is one of the best heavyweight fights out there for a very long time. You know, I haven't seen so much excitement around a heavyweight fight since we done Lennox Lewis and Gary Mason in the 90s. So it just shows you, if you bring the right fighters together, you give the public what they want, they'll turn out, the press will turn out, which is great. And you know, I just think it's really good to see so many of you here. Just a couple of little notices before I hand the floor over to two guys. This is obviously our first fight on Box Nation. It's going on air at 6:45 p.m, which is very early. David and Audley will be in the ring at 9:30, so that gives all you guys time to get your stuff in the press. That's the beauty of working with a dedicated boxing station. We're able to dictate and manoeuvre stuff around so that we can work with you, the press guys. So it's live on Box Nation, which is Sky 437 and Virgin 546. For anyone who hasn't got it, if you guys could just sort of give a tagline at the end of your stories, we would appreciate it very much. The two guys on the top table do not need any introduction from me, so we'll just throw the floor open, and the two trainers are sitting up here as well. So if you just want to start throwing questions, I'm sure everyone will respond to them.
Audley, do you think it would take you 12 years to win a British title this long when you turned over in 2000?
Well, you know, I had a plan. You know, my plan was obviously very radical, being my own promoter, my own manager. Obviously, in an ideal world, I'd like to have fought for the British title beforehand. Wasn't the case, because obviously the British title was tied up with a promoter on another network. And so, yeah, I mean, it's 12 years on. I've been full circle, and I get an opportunity to fight for the British and Commonwealth in the twilight of my career.
How do you think it's been going on? How do you think you're training?
Sorry?
How do you think it's been going according to plan?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I'm 40 years of age, so obviously I can't do it like I was 29. You know, I've had niggles, but I pushed through. My last fight before this one, I broke down a few times. I actually had to put the fight back. But this time I've really tested myself. You know, I've kind of like gone full circle. For those who didn't get my press release today, there's a press release that went out this morning, because I know there's some things in the press about me talking about I live the lie in the amateurs and the pros, and that's kind of taken out of context from what I said. So, you know, if you want to have what I said, it's on my website. I know all the press got press releases or whatever, there's some copies there if you want it. But the bottom line is I've gone full circle, and I'm, you know, my spirit is renewed for boxing. That's the bottom line. So, whereas before some of the fights I've lost, it's been, you know, because I'm been fighting the system, I haven't been able to control myself, control my emotions, and I haven't been able to perform. But Saturday night, the only person that's going to make me retire is David Price. You know, you're going to have to beat me with ability, or beat me with skill, because I'm definitely turning it up to put in a performance.
David, why do you think you're the man who can make Audley retire on Saturday?
If Audley Harrison wants to retire, if I beat him, then that's his choice. I'm just focusing completely on putting a performance on Saturday night, and I'm delighted to hear that Audley's had a great training camp and he's got a renewed spirit, because I've gained no satisfaction whatsoever from beating up on him like Dave did. I want him to come and fight and provide value for money for the fans, which is what I'm going to do, because I'm going to go in there with every intention, you know, with all due respect, I'm going to go in with every intention of putting a performance on and knocking the opponents out, because it's heavyweight boxing and that's what we want to do. And you know, I think it's going to make for a fantastic fight on the night.
Well, just tell me about your sparring. You got some, you know, well-rounded heavyweights from America. Just tell me how that went.
Yeah, sparring went great. It's like what you got to understand is that in 2004, when I left England, I stopped competing. I lost my competitive spirit. I left England you know, with this whole promotional thing, breaking down, and so I lost my will to compete in the ring, and that's what you were seeing in the 8 years where I'm trying to get back to getting that fighting passion back, because I lost it, and so it means I stopped competing in sparring. Michelle Assisia 2004 was the last time I went in the ring in control of myself, where I said, I'm going to show you that I'm a contender for the world title. You know, and I really obviously went to town there, had a great training camp. Danny Williams 2 was just about revenge, and I haven't really enjoyed myself in the boxing for 8 years. I haven't really enjoyed myself in the training camp, but I've tried to get myself back. This camp is the first camp where I've gone back to the order that I know, where I'm like, I need the best sparring partners. The guy that I'm fighting, David Price, unbeaten, hasn't put a foot wrong, tough as an ox. I need to find the best sparring partners that I can find to prepare me for this guy, and that's what I've done. Deontay Wilder was in the Beijing Olympics with David. He won a bronze medal at heavyweight, 26-0, 26 knockouts. Guy punches like a mule, great hand speed. Malik Scott, 33-0, great boxer, great technician, great speed. Joe Hanks, you know, he's the next Shannon Briggs. And even after all of that, I still brought in another guy, a Romanian who's like 7-0, he was in the Beijing Olympics. Another guy that punches like a mule, Roman Kovan. So I tested myself. I got beaten up in camp. I beat people up in camp. It was a tough camp, which is how it's supposed to be. And so definitely I prepared like a champion, and I feel like a champion, and that means Saturday night I'm going to fight like a champion. Ain't about win, losing or draw, it's about the process. And I know I've paid the price, and I know I can stand on that starting line, look David Price in the eye, and know I'm ready for battle, regardless of the outcome.